You ever want to reevaluate your friends sometimes? My friend Rick Maxfield came up to me and said, hey, I got a couple pieces of wood for you that you can turn. This is one of them. It's olive wood burl scraps. So we're going to make some scrap wood something today. The first thing I want to do with this is I want to... Whoa, that didn't work. How about that? That's better. I want to flatten the bottom on it. So I've got my big sanding disc up here. Going to turn it down a ways. And we're going to just sand this flat. That'll help us mount it here in a minute. So I said he gave me 2 pieces of wood. This is the first one. It turned out pretty neat. It made it into a really nice paperweight. I should have done it second because this one's going to be a challenge. But I have the bottom sanded off. We're going to take hot glue. And we're going to put liberally on here. We want to use as much as we can, right? We're not worried about wasting any. The other thing is, if you see here, I've kind of drawn the shape of the piece of wood on here because I wanted it to center up about, without having to worry about doing that while I was getting the glue in place. Gonna slide this up, gonna crank that in, give it some pressure. That's not enough for me. I now want to come around here and use the glue along the edges too to give myself some extra security and hold here. But if you do this right, this really works wonders and is a great way to hold a weird piece of wood onto a faceplate piece of wood. There we go. I think I call it a glue block. Literally, it is a glue block. Now, I'm going to literally make you watch glue dry. Okay, that took long enough, didn't it? Actually, that only took about 5 minutes. I just didn't want to waste the airwaves with it. There aren't airwaves anymore on YouTube, are there? It just didn't work that way. Okay, so we're going to come from this side here and just start making a shape. I'm not sure what the shape is, but we're going to make something. Thank you, Rick. Yeah. So, okay. So nothing's touching. We're going to bring this over here just in case something goes crazy. Turn it on. And we lock down. I've got one little stick out here that I'm going to start working on to begin with. I'm going to pull my tool back till I feel it hit the heel, and then come forward and make the cut. Olive wood is really fun to work with when you have wood to work with. This is a whole different experience here. So we'll just kind of level this out a bit. Oh, wow, I found wood. Olive wood has a lot of thick bark, so that makes it kind of a challenge sometimes. So we're going to come in this way now and start trying to shape it. So I'll work on removing some extra stuff right now, and then we'll see where we wind up. So we're getting a nice shape and it looks weird. I think what I want to do is round this end off just to make it dive under a little bit because it's going to be a paperweight too. We'll save some of this bark. The sketchy part is I'll be cutting away some of the glue, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, wrong holiday. Okay, I'm going to do a pull cut to begin with. There we go. Now I'm going to come in and start cutting the glue. There we're getting a little shape. I like that. Okay, wasn't much, it's just subtle. But see how I've got this little curve going right here? I like that. So I'm going to sand this, then we're going to part it off. Oh, yeah. We gotta do some finish now while we have it on the lathe. Why not? Just do it for fun. Okay, see how this burl turns out. Ooh, that is, wow. Oh man, look how the bark shows up too. That's cool. This is Danish oil. I'm just gonna let this soak in while it's sitting here on the lathe. Oh man, that is pretty stuff. Okay, well I guess you did okay, Rick. Not bad. So now we get to part it off without throwing it across the room. So I'm going to take part of my glue block off here and cut into it. And I'm using a very thin parting tool. And I'm just taking my time, because there's going to be a point where I've cut it far enough that it'll pop off. And I want it to pop off when I want it to pop off and not pop off when I don't want it to pop off. If that makes sense. Because all I have to do then is just quickly sand the bottom to get it all flushed up. And this glue holds really well. Famous last words. I'm trying to leave myself a little bit of a gap in there so the tool won't bind up, because the glue gets kind of sticky and heated up on the blade itself. We'll go back in. I'm cutting something. Okay, let's stop this and see how we're doing. This might not be ready to come off yet. Keep going. Hey, and you thought watching the glue dry was slow. Get back in a little bit. What's happening is the glue is heating up and catching the tool, which is making it really exciting. Okay. One more time. Probably shouldn't be using the tool to try to pry it off. Ugh, I've got a chisel here. Let me see if I got a chisel here. There we go. We'll do this on an innocuous part that won't show up. Oh, there we go. Cool. Sticky, huh? We're gonna let that cool off, and then I'm gonna sand it off. Just a little bit of Danish oil on the bottom. Put it back on the top, and that is how you make a scrap wood paperweight out of olive wood burl. Thanks, Rick.